right out of the gates, let me tell you, if you have not been over to Newfields and checked out the Monet exhibit, you need to do that. And now added to that exhibit is this cool new digital entree, and Charlie Brevage, one of the digital artists, is here, and we've also got Jonathan Berger from Newfields here. Tell us, Jonathan, about the background for this edition of the digital component.
Certainly. Well, you know, back about 5 years ago when we kind of tossed around this idea of doing something fully immersive, it was really with this day in mind where, you know, we can feature the art of Van Gogh and Monet, but also, you know, tap into some of our local artists, Indiana artists that we have. So, you know, really it's coming to life. Through COVID and everything, today is the day.
All right, we're going to take a look at some of the pictures here of this. And we're talking about 30,000 feet.
30,000 square feet of projection space,
yep. You literally get lost in, surrounded by art. So Charlie, tell me how you became involved, and it's got to be pretty exciting to be a part of this.
Oh yeah, very exciting. You know, they had a call out, and I answered the call, and I was, you know, I actually at first I was rejected from this, but then I got a call later, and they're like, oh, we're gonna include more artists, and so I got pulled in that way. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your work. And 'cause we were in the green room talking about it's sort of a multimedia approach to art.
Oh yeah, you know, I do a lot of CG work, but I use photographic elements in order to make sure that it has a sense of realism to it. So I'm layering things that are made in the computer, but also photographed in real space. So for LUME especially, I wanted to have elements that really read really well in the space. So you don't want to have them, you know, feel like empty. There's a lot of times, like video games or things like that, can feel like there's empty space. With the LUME, it's so big you can walk right up to it. So you want to feel like it's taking advantage of that immersive quality.
And the LUME really is the ideal venue for this kind of digital expression, isn't it?
Oh, I can't think of a larger canvas in the nation that you know you can highlight, you know, Charlie's art. I think it's great.
Yeah. And I wonder, as an artist, what is it like to be a part of an exhibit that also includes a great impressionist like Monet? That's got to be pretty exciting.
Well, my friend said it to me the other day. He was like, well, you're basically having a solo show with Monet at the art museum. I was like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's good company.
Not a bad opening act to have Monet there, huh?
Yeah.
So give us a sense of how much fun it is for the people that are going to be checking out this exhibit.
Well, I think that everybody that comes to the LUME, you know, the magnitude of it is, you know, people that step into that threshold and see it and just stand inside Charlie's artwork. Big spaces where you know, you can bring your kids, they can run around and just experience it all. So it's a lot of fun. We had an opening on Friday night. You know, I had a lot of people there that were really excited.
That I hadn't even thought about the idea of kids running around, but that's kind of what the venue allows, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's so different, so pioneering for Newfields to, you know, kind of let that happen.
When you think about art museums, you think of them as being sort of, I don't know, stiff places where you sit down on a bench and look up at a piece of art, and this is a whole different experience.
Absolutely. I think that, you know, museums are evolving, but they really haven't changed in, you know, a couple hundred years. And, you know, with artwork like Charlie, I mean, it wasn't too terribly long ago that photography wasn't something that museums would hang on their walls. They didn't consider that art. So it's a new era.
We are moving forward. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Folks, if you haven't been yet, check out the LUME.